Hello lovely people, let's talk about how to raise your self-esteem. So while this video can be watched by anyone, the message is more so for my ladies, especially ladies who are on the level up journey and trying to live a better, fuller life and trying to become the best version of themselves. Okay, so how to raise your self-esteem. Right, number one, start with your looks. And I know this sounds superficial and may sound shallow. However, when you take the time to take care of yourself and to prioritize your looks, it just seems that magically everything else will fall into place. I never used to do this. I started to prioritize my looks only 1 year ago, like seriously trying to learn how to style clothes and how to shop and how to walk in heels and how to apply makeup and how to do my hair. Like, I never prioritized any of this. Silly me, I didn't realize that the society in which I live, well, pretty much the world right now, judges women by how they look. The world cares a lot more about how a woman looks than what's up here, and all I cared about was what was up here. Like, I was a nerd, I studied all the time, did not pay any attention to my looks. But once I made the switch of prioritizing my looks first, school second, my life got a lot better. And I'm like, I don't want to admit this, right? Because I was so judgmental of those people who used to or just anyone that I would see who were prioritizing their looks. I would judge them. I'm like, they're so shallow, they're so superficial. It's just like what you know, and it's like your perspectives and it's your experience that matters. And yes, all of that matters. However, the first thing a person sees, the first thing the world will see about you, are your looks. So if you take care of them, you are setting the precedent, you are setting the tone for how you will be treated if you show that you treat yourself well. So if you show others that you treat yourself well, you take care of yourself, and you take the time to adorn yourself, then that will set the tone and it will give them a reason to do the same thing. So yeah, it seems as though everything will follow when you put your looks high up on the list, okay? And another thing about looks is that it's not just about the relationship between how you look and how society sees you. When you put on perfume, you put on oils, and you lotion yourself, and you brush your teeth, and you practice proper hygiene, and you decorate yourself, you put on jewelry, you put on makeup and all these things, you will vibrate higher and you will start to feel better about yourself. And that type of energy is felt by anyone who will come into contact with you, okay? So that's step number one, okay? All right, so step number two in raising your self-esteem is to take the time and invest your time into exploring your strengths, your weaknesses, and your interests, and invest your time in cultivating and building your strengths. This will go a very, very long way. Knowing yourself is half of the battle, and it's the most important part, because if you don't know yourself, how can you know anyone else? If you don't know yourself, how can you get from point A to point B, right? So when you know yourself, you know what you have to work on. It won't be so easy for others to put you down saying, oh, well, you're fat or you're stupid, because, okay, you've taken the time to get to know your weaknesses. You've taken the time to get to know your strengths. So someone else can't tell you about yourself. You already know about yourself, okay? So take those times. So like, I would say this past summer, I took a guitar lesson. I took some vocal training. I explored an interest that I like, so it was music. I took a class in data science. I did all of these different things to explore different strengths and weaknesses, different interests that I have, and to cultivate my strengths as well. And I would suggest you know, anyone do the same thing if they are really, you know, invested in learning about themselves and making sure they keep their self-esteem and their self-worth intact and on the rise. Okay, all right. All right, now step 3 of improving your self-esteem and raising your self-esteem is to know that haters are a good thing. When you have haters, that is a good sign. You know why? You know why? Because no one kicks a dog. No one kicks a dog while they're down, right? Like, oh my gosh, can you just see this dog? She's so cute. I love her. I love her so much. When you are not a threat, no one will have a reason to hate on you or to criticize you or to try to bring you down, okay? So the term "no one kicks a dog while they're down" or "no one, you know, kicks a dead horse" is just saying, like, if you were really worthless and useless like everyone says, or like all your haters say, then they would have absolutely no reason to say anything about you. I mean, you wouldn't, if you really were useless and worthless like a dead dog, then you wouldn't be worth the time to talk about. You wouldn't be worth their breath, okay? So if you have someone who hates on you, that disrespects you, that will go out of their way to try to put you down, that is actually a good sign that you are a little threatening. Maybe you're intimidating. Maybe you're doing a little too well, that you have haters, okay? All right, so these 3 steps will help you raise your self-esteem. Step 1, and as always, this message is specifically for the ladies, right? Prioritize your looks. Take care of yourself. And when you treat yourself well, others will treat themselves well. So that's number 1. Number 2 is investing the time to discover you and who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, and your interests. And number 3 is knowing that, honestly, if you have haters, you're doing something right. So even though the first response, or, you know, the first reaction for most hate is to be upset and be sad, be happy. Be happy, because honestly, if someone is truly happy with themselves and not threatened or intimidated by someone else, they wouldn't need to speak negatively, complain, or try to put down someone else, okay? All right, so I hope this video has been helpful. Please let me know and leave a comment and tell me how it goes, you know? Tell me about your experiences, ask me some questions, and I'd love to address them, okay? All right, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.